Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Timmy Tran. I'm your link to the fire within and to God. Well, guys, you know what I'm gonna say. You got a power. You can change anything at any time in your life. Now, that doesn't mean that you're gonna get a result right away, right? You just gotta change, a little bit of time. You gotta learn. You got willing to learn, guys. You got willing to learn. There's a lot of information out there, and you gotta write. You gotta learn the right information throughout your life. You're struggling to, you're struggling, you're suffering, stuff like that. Is what you around, what you've been learning, right? It's the same thing with anybody that born to this earth that have to go through that process. And some, it's some people have it better, some people have it worse, right? I mean, depending on where the area that you're grown up, like if you're in the Western world, you seem to have it better than in the Eastern world because depending on what country you were born into, right? Because the opportunities, area, all kind of stuff, but everybody have a choice, and unfortunately for a lot of people, they live in like a country where they don't have a lot, so they have to live like the old day, not advanced, like living up the land and all kind of stuff like that. So when you live in the Western world, you got a lot of things to make it, what's build, create, for you, and you have it good, right? You have it good, and a lot of times, sometimes when you have it good, what happens? You disregard, what you have is good, right? You don't understand that other people don't have as much as you are. I mean, there's always somebody else gonna have less than you are, right? And that's how it works. That's how our world works. That's how all species and animals, things like that, the God created thing the way it works. But as for us, like we get involved and we learn to adapt, and we learn to be more like God, right? And God give you the free will to learn and to build and to prosper and to multiply, right? But the problem is that a lot of people, when they achieve things, when they become where they have so much stuff, they forgot that God was the one who created this thing. That God is the one who that put everything in place. Whether they like it or not, that God have a plan for them, right? Or whether then God reward them to a certain point where what, it's time for you to take action. Time for you to help the people, or time for you to destroy yourself. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, as a human being, when you have so much, you forget, your past, or you forget, where you came from, and especially you forget about God, right? Because you have so much, and you become, yeah, I got so much, I learned all these things, I'm a scientist, or I'm a preacher, or I'm whatever, I'm a pastor, whatever it is, what, I don't need no God, in the mind. They say, oh, what, I need to prove, what I'm saying, I achieved all these things, what I'm saying, yeah, I was lying about God, all kinds of stuff, I achieved all these things, what, so now I'm going to do whatever I want to do, I live in a nice house, or big house, or, they're not do whatever I want to do, I don't really believe in God, right? And they start doing all these bad things, right? And what happened? They forgot. God created everything. So they're going to be their downfall as well. They can prosper, continue to prosper if they, same thing like, like anything, right? If you continue to build, what happened? You gain more. Any thing that you want to be good at, you practice all the time, and you be good at it. You continue to do it, you're good at it. A lot of times, people give up, right? They give up. Especially when they do things that it's not what they love, or what they do to give up, And the thing is that they grow up in a society that tell them to do a certain thing. They obey to what what the society teach them. As they're obeying God, they obey the system that was set in place by God people, right? Because when people don't, a lot of people don't believe in God, and you have to live in the same space of the God people that believe in God. People believe in God become your master, right? Because as human, good people always want to look in, to be good, to be on God's side. Most of them want to be God's side. It's the thing that if you want to live and you want to be, to become comfortable, what happened? You want to be on the good side. Now, there's always a side that little cuckoo, right? A little little defiant, right? And what happened that they cause society into chaos, right? And that's why, because they don't, most of them don't follow God law. So what happened? They create things where they force people into their belief, whatever it is. So a lot of people believe in God, and there's a lot of people believe in God. So they have to come up with law to protect themselves and to protect, and to keep the the people that don't believe in God, at least sane, right? That they can live with, right? But over time, is that like the people that believe in God, they have the control over whatever it is to control everybody else. That including controlling the God believer as well, right? And they're human, like what human? They're not perfect, right? They're gonna make mistakes. So what happened that when they see the system where they created to contain the people that don't believe in God, right? Because it's like it's like you gotta create money, right? Money is like running by everybody. That's why you believe in God or not. You gotta use money if you want to trade or you want to live and buy food. It's like you gotta use money. I don't care you believe in God or not, right? You gotta use money where the system that was created. Now created intentionally was to help the people, right? But the problem is that humans make mistakes. So a lot of people like get in the system and be the leader of the system, control the system. When they see easy money, they become corrupt. Well, this system, like, we just attract money from the people. You know what? Why don't we just enrich ourselves? Why don't we just live on this money instead, right? So they want to control people with that, and that's a bad thing, right? All systems are was set up to probably contain the people that not believe in God, and at the same time, because they live in the same space, so they have to contain the people that believe in God as well, right? And over time, it get corrupted because human being, we die, new people born, they have to learn a new thing. If they don't learn the past, they're gonna repeat it, right? So a lot of people, what thing? Normal. If people that you don't have no money, you see money and it's easy money, what happens? You get addicted, right? And it doesn't matter you're gonna rob from people or not. You get addicted to the money, but you live to that standard, right? That's what happened to right now. We find out all government or leaders that have been in office for a long time and they've been doing this, right? And it doesn't mean that they can't change, right? God gave them that free will power. If they in that position, they can change back and help with people, right? But the problem is that, like everybody else with their life, they don't want to change, right? Because especially that you're getting something that for free, and you live up somebody else's back, right? And you don't want to go, oh, I don't want to work today. You know what? What if I can steal from people, and get a free stuff with that? Why do I have to work, right? That's human. Anybody, right? The same thing with a lot of people, they don't make the decisions to change their life. It's because, they always looking for somebody else. They want to steal from somebody else, right? And they don't want to change, right? You don't want to change, like whether relationship or whatever it is. If you don't want to change, you always blame somebody else. The access within you. You can build, you can create, or you can destroy, right? But what most people do, they let them blame other people, right? That's what we do. Instead of stand on their ground, believe what they believe, and take the right action, and God will reward you with the right people around you, right? You gotta stand, but sometimes when you stand, sometimes you have to lose people that that you surround with, that don't help you in the first place, right? So that's a given, right? So I mean that's the same thing, with everything in the universe, right? When you stand up for something, then you're gonna lose something, especially like when you're in somewhere where you're comfortable and stuff like that. It's hard to change, right? For most people, it's really hard to change. It's because change requires them to take action. That's what God said. He wanted to create and build and prosper. If you don't create and build prosper, what happened? You have to steal from other people. And what happened? We have a system for so long that in the money where we say, trust in God. That we don't trust in God. We trust in the people that control that money. So that's why everything's so expensive. It's because we never trust in God. But why it is on the money they say trust in God? Because the people that create the money know that most people want to trust in God. But that it's just a facade for them to look at it so that they can trust the money and trust the people that run the money instead of trusting God, right? That is it's a cycle thing, you know what I'm saying? And you got to understand that. If you don't understand that, then you're stuck where you are. All right, guys, from God, Jesus Christ, from Ten Commandments, change your life. That's all it is. Or, it's true, right? So we can all make the world better, it will understand the truth. Okay, bye bye.